Our budget, our finances, obviously. The budget is the foundation, the basis for everything we do. And so when we're in a financial crisis like the city is right now, it becomes the single most important thing that we have to deal with in terms of trying to solve all the other problems. So our financial situation is the single most important thing. Crime is right there next to it. I mean, that is, they are equal, but they obviously relate to each other. And if we don't have enough resources for police officers, that strains the budget and makes life a little less appealing to many people. Well, obviously, the city's filing Chapter 9 bankruptcy was an attempt to get a solid foundation under our budget, to kind of get our arms around our financial situation and hold off our creditors, and more importantly, preserve city services. So the budget issues are really a matter of continuing to maintain adequate city services, police, fire, all of the rest of the things that our community desires and needs and requires. So the single most important thing is trying to maintain some stability in the budget, working with our creditors, obviously, to restructure our debts so that we can afford to go forward into the future. And of course, we're hopeful that through bankruptcy, we'll be able to get our arms around that budget and be able to really have a foundation that will carry us forward. I'm very hopeful right now of several projects that are actually happening or beginning to happen. We have the prison medical facility out on Arch Road that's being built right now. There's 1,200 construction workers out there working daily to put that facility up. And of course, over 50% of the labor force out there is local hire, because that was part of the settlement with the CDRC that we worked very hard for a couple of years ago. Actually, the construction folks are getting around 60–65% in local hire out there now. Plus the amount of dollars that are going into the local economy through procurement, through contractors, subcontractors, supplies. That too is over 50%. And so that's fueling jobs, that's fueling the economy there. But the big thing is next year, when that facility opens in July, there'll be 2,400 jobs. 2,400 jobs for everything from psych techs, doctors, nurses, lab techs, custodians, correctional peace officers. All of those jobs will be out there at that facility. And that's going to be a huge economic engine, I believe, not only for Stockton, but for the county. The other key component of bringing jobs or increasing jobs is the Ports Marine Highway, which is going to be launched very shortly, where barges are going to be bringing in containers to the Port of Stockton that will then allow us to actually become a container port. And so that's going to be a very positive thing, and we already know that businesses have located at the port because of that marine highway, because those barges are going to be able to bring in the containers that they can then put their products in and ship overseas. So it's really going to improve the balance of trade, not only for our county, our city, but actually for the nation. So that's a really big project that's happening. In the meantime, I'm very hopeful that despite all the financial stuff that we're dealing with, people are still seeing Stockton as a place to locate. I mean, every month I sign welcoming letters to over 100 small new businesses that have located here. People have taken out business licenses, business permits. And last month it was everything from a hairstylist at a salon, who is now have a license to do her work at a chair, or him, to Walgreens and Walmart that opened last month. So you see a wide range of business and industry that still finds Stockton and this area desirable. So does that just begins to kind of scratch at the unemployment. Ultimately, it's going to be a combination of improvement in the housing market. We need to start building again and having jobs for those construction workers. But in the meantime, we're very fortunate that we've got all of the highway projects going on, all the construction projects that are state funded, federal funded, that are putting a lot of construction workers to work. They may not be on homes, but many of them are working on those I-5 projects, 99, Crosstown Freeway. All of these projects are pumping money into our economy and putting people to work. Is it enough? No, obviously not. We need far more jobs, but it's building the infrastructure right now so that when things start to come back in the economy, we're going to be able to take advantage of that as a real transportation hub. We're going to have all the elements in place. The Arch, the French Camp, Sperry Road interchange is going to be finished. That's going to help move goods from 99 to I-5. So what's happening now in this quieter time economically, this disastrous time, is that we are building that infrastructure very carefully, very methodically to position ourselves for a bright economic future. And I know that companies are noticing that, taking advantage of it.